Okay, boys and girls. So earlier, you watched the video on food chains. You cannot watch it again, unfortunately, but we can talk about it. What did you learn about food chains, Natalie?
The food chains always start with the suns in the plants.
Yes, the food chain always starts out with the sun. That is the initial source of energy. And then next would be the plants, which are called what, Mac? What are the plants called in the food chain? Producers. Good. What else, Alexa? One animal is what? Eats another animal? Okay. Harrison.
There's a pyramid that has the plants at the bottom.
Okay, so in the pyramid of the food chain, the plants are at the bottom, which means that it's the largest, right? Katie.
An animal that eats only meat is called a carnivore.
Okay, an animal that eats only meat is called a carnivore. What's one that eats only plants called? Brian. No, not a consumer. Barbie Ruth. An herbivore. Good. I always think about herbs because you know the herbs come from plants. So that's how I remember herbivore. What else, Mac?
That there's many ways to graph a food chain. Like you can do a food web, you can do a pyramid, you can do a chain. There's many ways to do it.
Okay, so there aren't only food chains where it's one link to the next link. There is also a food web where an animal can eat other kinds of animals.
And pyramids.
And yes, the pyramid as well. Katie.
At the bottom of the pyramid is always going to be like the vegetables, and then the middle is going to be what eats the vegetables, and at the top is going to be like the carnivores.
Yes. Okay, so what is the order of those three words? You can remember the three words you learned yesterday.
What 3 words?
The 3 words. Somebody I haven't heard from. Brianna. Not organism, 3 words. Janaya.
Consumer, producer,
Decomposer. So, yes, the 3 are consumer, producer, and decomposer, but is that the correct order?
No.
Natalie, what order?
Producer, consumer, decomposer.
Please put your shoes on. Yes, it is producer, consumer, and decomposer. The producer, that is your plants, so your vegetables or your fruit. The consumer is anything that eats those plants. Consumers are also things that eat other animals. We are consumers, every single one of us. We just got back from lunch. So you are a consumer. You ate plants and animals. Who's going to eat us? Hopefully nobody, but the decomposers will actually use our dying bodies to break us down and take us back to the soil. I know it's kind of a strange thing to think about, but yes, when you die, and if you decide to get buried, then you will go back into the soil. You will decompose. Yes.
So the soil is
Yes, Brayden.
instead of an animal, the soil's just decomposing good?
Decomposers, yes.
I did not know.
But yes, you eventually break down. All right, boys and girls. I'm going to draw sticks for some volunteers. I'm drawing sticks, so don't even raise your hand. It will be at random. Alright, first I need 4 people.
Please pick 16.
4. Alright, Harrison, Taylor, Katie, and Olivia. Please come to the front. Boys and girls, you should not be talking when people come up to the front. Okay. I'm going to give you these things, and you need to put yourself in order in which it makes sense for the food chain. Y'all think about it. Make sure you're in order, and I'll give you a hint. I have some arrows. And
You gotta shoot.
No, you got wrong.
Harrison,
let them discuss it. Let them think about it. Okay, so let's look. Let's see if this is right. What do you have? Turn it around so we can see it. Okay, so here's sunlight. Here's an apple tree, a grub, and mold on the fruit. But do you start with mold on the fruit and then go? Don't you read? Listen, wait. Don't you read from left to right?
Yeah.
Left to right.
Yeah, turn around.
Okay, so sunlight, apple tree, grub, and mold on the fruit. I'm going to pick 3 people to come up and see if that is correct. And they will come place arrows where they belong. Ryan, Janavius, and Alexa, please give me the arrows. Okay, where are you going? Let's see if they can figure it out. So you 4 come straight out a little bit. Harrison, come over here. Taylor, come over here. Okay. Let's look.
Yeah, you got it.
There we go. All right. So let's look. So you start with the sunlight. That is the primary and your initial source. And then you go to the apple tree. That is the I won't tell you. And the next one. And then there's mold on the fruit. And now I have the terms and producer, consumer, and decomposer, and you need to come. 3 people need to come up. And what you'll do, please listen. If you're one of the 3 that come up, you will come and you will squat down in front of the person that represents the name that you have. Brianna, Janiyah, and Kaylee.
Hey, where are you?
Hey, if you were in the audience, you should not be talking. Decomposer, where's that one go?
You don't know.
Over there. Okay, so let's look. Let's see if they're right. We have a producer right here at the sunlight. No. When you go to the grocery store and you go to the produce section, do you go to the sunlight section? Oh, you might go to where the apples are. Okay, the produce section. That makes a little more sense now.
Yeah.
So, boys and girls, this is your energy. Sunlight is energy. But so is the producer. That is also energy, and consumers pass on energy. So that's why we don't have one for sunlight, because there's energy that goes all the way through this food chain. So let's review one more time. We have sunlight, which passes on energy to the apple tree, your producer. Your arrow is backwards. And then you pass it on to the grub, which eats the apple. That's your consumer, consuming the apple. And then you go to the mold on the fruit, and that is your decomposer. Okay, hand me these and please have a seat. Please do not stop. Okay, boys and girls, I have news for you. That's not the only food chain. There are several food chains.
You're not going to make another one. There's not several. There's a million. There's not. There's a billion. There's
I know it's right after lunch and y'all are kind of chatty, so let's stay focused. Okay, I'm going to call some more people up to the front to help me out. First, I'm going to do the same thing where I have the parts of the food chain. You're going to come, you're going to put yourself in order. And then we'll do it the same exact way we did earlier. So my 4 people that I want to come be parts of the food chain. Anna, Jabarion, Xander, and Bree. Okay, go with your people and figure it out. If you're talking in the audience, you'll get a circle. I'm tired of saying that wasn't it. Denied you. Okay, yes. Jabarion, come down here. Let's look. Everybody checks. Everybody, let's look. Okay. So we have sunlight. We have an oak tree. Oak trees have acorns on them. At least that's an acorn I'm drawing. And a squirrel. And then an earthworm. I think it looks pretty good to me.
Me too.
An earthworm, if the squirrel dies, then an earthworm will come and decompose the squirrel. Yes. All right, so 3 more people to come be my arrows. Ryder, Natalie, and Matt. Okay, let's look and see if they're correct. Let's see. Looks pretty good. My decomposer, consumer, and producer people. Evan, Deshaun, and Jordan.
That's everyone. 13, 14, 15, 16. I mean, 14.
Oh, and Evan. All right, if you're at front, you shouldn't be talking. If you're over here, you shouldn't be talking. Let's look. So the producer is the oak tree. Yes, that is your plant. The consumer is the squirrel. The squirrel is eating the acorn. And then the decomposer, the worm is decomposing the squirrel that has died. All right, very good. Hand these to me and head back to your desk. Not a word, because it is time for something else.
This way. This way it goes.
Okay, boys and girls, this is the fun part.
Yeah.
Okay, right?
That was
Wait.
fun when you had a worksheet.
It's not a worksheet. No, wait, listen. It's a paper, but it's not a worksheet. You get to cut, and you get to glue, and you get to create your very own food chain. Now listen. Wait. Okay, the only reason you're getting this page is if, and only if, you want to use the pictures on it. But however, you do not have to use the pictures. You can draw. This is for those of you who say, I can't draw. Because if you can't draw, there are no excuses. You have pictures right here that you can use. So boys and girls, this sheet of paper, people are talking while I'm talking. This sheet of paper has many options to create more than one food chain. So you're not going to use every single picture for your food chain. Everybody's food chain is not going to necessarily be the same. Some of you may have the same animals, but some of you might have one animal that's the same, but another animal that's not. And that's because some animals eat more than one kind of animal. There is a human on here. So you have to think about what you as a human might eat. And then, boys and girls, you also need to think about, you also have to think about, people are still talking.
I eat a cow. Cow.
People are talking while I'm talking. if you have any questions while you make this, I'm going to give you a sentence strip, and on that sentence strip, you are going to put down your things. What is the very first thing that you will have to put on there? This. Good. It is sunlight. There is not a picture for sunlight on here, so you will have to draw your sunlight.
What about your name?
Yes. Put your name on the back, please. Paper passers and materials helper and teacher helper. No talking. Materials. No materials has that. Teacher helper. Everyone gets one of these. And everyone gets these. Good. Please talk. I'm going to help you find this is for your food chain. What's around your food? Boys and girls, Barbie Ruth had her hand up patiently, waiting for me to call on her. I could not call on her because y'all were too busy talking. Yes, what is your question? That's a good question. I would put my side of the food chain on the blank side. But it doesn't matter. You may begin when you get your strips.
I'm going to leave some of those like from the outside.
You may color them. I'll pass out the crayons.
If you need me a
Boys and girls, you may whisper.
Who didn't get scissors? No. I'm bad at it. Yes, you did.
You may quietly whisper as you do this, but if you begin to talk too loudly, I will not let you whisper at all. Prove to me that you can whisper, but you need to be working. Yes. Harrison, do you want your crayons? Okay, you can draw your own. Yes, you have to create your own.
So these are all.
Boys and girls, when you get finished, let me tell you what you can do when you finish. There are some National Geographic magazines. Boys and girls, there are some National Geographic magazines over here for when you get finished. And I'll put the page number on the board. And you can read the article about the web of life. When you finish reading that, you can flip through the rest of the magazine.
Good.
One of what?
This.
There's one on the desk right behind me. If you have a question, please raise your hand and I'll come to you.
She said, Natalie, you're not going. No. I'm ready. I hate cold.
But does this have a
I can draw. She's not just don't let your mama is from. My grandma's
and you can label it. Boys and girls, if you're drawing, you should label it. But if you use the pictures, it's already labeled. If you draw your own, then label it.
I'm working on it.
Just work on drawing it out first.
Can we stand for this?
What?
I'm not driving right now. What? I'm not driving. And
If you don't understand, you can raise your hand and you patiently wait for me to come. Make sure you're whispering only.
Hey, can we color the
Raise your hand.
Can we color the picture? Okay, wow.
Give me a pen. Okay, I'll just my currently walks.
Boys and girls, this is my last warning. Please whisper. If it gets any louder than it is right
Wait, do
now.
we have to? Yeah, you have to. Yes, do you have to use the
Boys and girls, you must have a producer, consumer, and decomposer. Okay, what did I say to do when you're finished?
I don't use that.
Okay, boys and girls, no more talking. You're not working. No more talking. Not a word. Not a word. Please raise your hand if you have a question. Not a word. Not a sound. Does the sun, or does the sun produce sound? you have a question, if you have a question, please raise your hand. Boys and girls, on your little sheet with the pictures, there is one for decomposers. It's got a little worm and a mushroom.
Ryan and Xander.
Ryan and Xander.
Can we do this when we get back?
Not sure why you're talking. There you go. Yours has all on the bottom. Boys and girls, if you have room, because some of you have been not used up all your space, if you have room and want to create another one, you can. But I would just take that off and erase that. What might you want? Does the sun divide? Okay. Okay, boys and girls, go ahead and put the cap on your glue. Put the cap on your And just leave everything. Leave everything where it is. If you sit on, oh actually no, you sit. Okay. Kinsey, line up please. Make sure you're catching on your blue. Harrison, Anna, Olivia, Kaylee, Matt, Natalie,
Okay, I'm going.
Javarion, Janaya, Ryder, Brianna, Rye, Evan, Deshaun, Jordan, Taylor, Brayden, Ryan's not in here, Janavius, Bree, Katie, Barbie Ruth, Bryson, and Alexa. I called you in ABC order. That is the order in which you need to be standing in line.